Hold up.
Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's Newsstand, and I want to talk a little bit about the Disney Plus series that just came out, Hawkeye. Now, there's a lot of reviews out there, and this isn't going to be one of your I break down every scene and tell you every Easter egg. I want to give you my first honest thoughts on this series and kind of my hopes. Now, there is a bunch to dissect, and if you want to go more into that, make sure you guys check out my stream this weekend. We will probably bring it up. I'm having on Dan Fam, Just Some Guy, and Comic Breakdown on Sunday. I'll put the link in the pinned comment. But I have one huge flaw in this series I want to speak about, but this overall was pretty good. Now, this is the 5th installment of these Disney Plus series. I completely skipped the What If series, and that was simply because the animation style didn't look great to me. I love Elseworld, alternative universe, what if stories, but this one was just like, what if this person was actually this person? And it really wasn't my thing. I may go back at some time and check it out. Let me know how it was down below in the comments if you guys checked it out. But we're going to talk about Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. Now, a lot of this does pull from Matt Fraction's run. I do believe he is even quite possibly an executive producer on this property, which is awesome. I love Matt Fraction. I love Kelly Sue DeConnick. I think they are, maybe besides Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti, maybe the second, biggest dream team couple in comics. But this is a little different. It changes a lot of what we know about Kate Bishop. Right from the beginning, we see the Battle of New York. And that was really cool to have that throwback, right? 2012, we see this huge battle. It changes everything about Kate Bishop. And it actually changes things in a really positive way. There are times in the comics when it comes to Kate when she can be very annoying. And there are times when she is awesome. Now, I haven't read everything Kate. I absolutely haven't. Marvel isn't my forte as compared to DC. But this gave her a little bit of, I love her. She's such a mess and she's so cute. And now, I knew I was going to like it anyway. I like Haley Steinfeld. I think the actress did a fantastic job of bringing this character to light. But my big issue is the dichotomy, the relationship between her and Hawkeye. Now, in the comics, it clearly established boundaries, and it clearly established that this was a mentor, Robin Batman type relationship, right? She was almost a Clint was almost the surrogate father, whereas it felt very much so like, I don't know where they're going with this. Hawkeye's married. Does Hawkeye's wife know that he is in New York with a 22-year-old girl hanging out at her aunt's apartment and at times at her apartment alone? Like, I get that his wife trusts him. I get it. They had an amazing relationship with Nat. But it felt very weird. I don't know if it's just me or they haven't set those clear boundaries yet, but it felt very romantic-esque, romantic adjacent. And that I have a little bit of an issue with. Like, if you're going to be a mentor, don't play any power games, don't do anything like that. You're there to be a mentor. Set clear boundaries. This didn't feel like there was clear boundaries. Like, she was very fangirlish, true to character. And she's like calling him like, you miss me yet? Bitch, what? Did you just have... okay, all right. So let's get into the other parts of the show that I did like. But that threw me for a loop. And I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not going to lie. So the other stuff, I do like the idea transferred over, right? Kate is an over-excelling character. Her father, in this instance, was gone, and she, started fencing, rock climbing, gymnastics, swimming, a bunch of things. Really, they did a lot with the fencing, which I like, because it was in the comics also. But that change in origin, I think, is setting us up for a little bit of a surprise. So earmuffs, if you don't want any theories. but I do believe, probably like most of the internet, that Eleanor is going to be the bad guy. Her mother is going to be the bad guy, right? We clearly know that in the comics that she was Miss Mask or something like that. I can't remember right offhand, but she was a villain, and you know, she faked her death. She was the one initially during that opening scene, which was different at the time, but she was the one that faked her death, right? She was doing everything behind the scenes. And then Jack, her to-be husband, her fiance, was too much of a mustache twirling villain for anybody to take him very seriously. He was the definition of a comic booky villain. And actually, I believe the character he's playing is called the Swordsman in the comics. And he is kind of that on-again, off-again villain, anti-hero type, not necessarily used as much anymore. But I do believe that is who he is playing. And it is clearly a setup with the relationship between stepdaughter and stepfather, the weird boundaries being set. And I don't know. It was okay. It wasn't bad, but it was clear from the very beginning that this guy wasn't going to be our big bad in this series. Like, he's a little bit hard to take seriously. Even in that auction scene, which I thought was phenomenally done, I still don't understand why they want the watch, but I like seeing Kate struggle. And that's really weird to say. Really weird to say. But I'm already seeing the, oh my God, she's a Mary Sue comment. And clearly by people that didn't watch the show realize what she's been through, what she achieved of herself, what she put her body through in order to get it where she's at. And then also realize that women can be more agile and use their, lower in weight for their benefit. And I'm already seeing it. And that's okay. I expected it. But I like seeing her have a hard time. I liked that. Now, there was a lot of really good in Clint. Even though I would say Hawkeye is not my favorite part of the show, it's definitely Kate. There was a lot of really good emotional depth to him. During that terrible play, we saw him upset about, the reminder of Natalie's death and the idea that, he has his hearing aid, all of what he's been through, the relationship, seeing him as a father. All of those things are really great for character development for the one Avenger that never got his own movie. About damn time. But he's still annoying. He's still like this self-loathing dude that is a little frustrating at times. Like, one bad scene, I would say, or rather weird scene, was the LARPing scene. It felt very pushed in there, and it didn't feel like it was based in reality, because maybe it's just me, maybe that kind of stuff happens in New York, but I've never seen a LARPing thing that well organized, that well scripted, and the rules were so rigid. And okay, all right, you do you, boo. But it felt like those two episodes could have been one, because a lot of those plot points were just really kind of too much and kind of filler, if that makes sense. I did like the bros, right? The guys that walk around and say bro, the tracksuit mafia. I like them a lot. I like Lucky, the pizza dog, being included. I like all those things. There's a lot of really good in this. I think we are going to see Kazi, which was Kate Bishop's crazy, psychotic, insane boyfriend. I believe that's who we're seeing in this. I'm not exactly sure. But the end scene here was Kate basically tracking down Clint. Clint, in the first episode and a half was trying to hide her. He wants to get the tracksuit, or the Ronin suit. And he ends up getting ambushed by the tracksuit mafia. They take him away. She tries to help save the day, right? And she breaks in and she's like, oh yeah, whoops, I brought arrows to a gunfight. I think I'm going to have a little bit of trouble here. But we get the introduction of Echo. Now, Echo has never been a character I've been super into. I'll say that right off the bat, so I want to be fair here. I don't know much about Echo. And I tried to check out a book that came out on Echo 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was nearly unreadable from Marvel. So I don't know much about this character. The most I know is that she is deaf, which is awesome. I love her using the bass woofer for her hands and talking back and forth. I thought that was a great inclusion. But is she a hero? Isn't she a hero? Like, why is she a villain? Why is she the bad guy? Or is the bad guy Eleanor? Like, I get this is all part of the mystery. I do. I understand that. But what? Like, she's getting her own show. Clearly, she's not the villain of the story. Clearly, Mustache Jack isn't either. So it has to be Eleanor. You didn't give us any for the mystery. You didn't give us much to actually think was mysterious, if that makes sense. So I am curious where they take this. I am glad to see Kate in the Young Avengers. I was hoping she feels a little old. If they're going to be doing the Young Avengers, even in 5 years, she's going to be 27. So I'm not sure how they're going to deal with that. But overall, the Christmas theme, the music, the way that, Kate was kind of a mess. And I love that. The way that Clint was kind of emotional mess and even irritating at times. I think it all worked synergetically really well. I just felt like these 2 episodes had a lot of filler for a series that only has 6 episodes. So I'm hoping within the next episode we see more Echo, maybe some ties to Kingpin. Kingpin. Yeah, okay. All right. That's where I duck out. I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know, of course, what you guys think, and make sure you join us on Sunday for my stream. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.